Hey beauties, it's 𝗹𝗶𝘃𝗀. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to be playing Identity Fraud. This game is trending right now on TikTok, and I thought I might as well play it and try to beat it today. And I've never beat it before. I have played this game before. I found out about it like a couple days ago, but I could only make it to stage 3. And along the way, I'm going to be telling you guys some tips and tricks to get through each of the stages and help you guys beat the game. I'm also going to be telling you guys about the monsters on each of the stages, what their names are, what they do, how they kill you, and how to prevent them from killing you. Let's go ahead and press play. There's also a little cutscene at the beginning, like a little backstory, but I'm just going to skip that because it's not too important. But if you do want to see that, you can go ahead and play this game. And as you can see, when I first entered the maze, I found a big group of people, which is really good. So tip number 1, always be with a group of people, especially in maze/stage number 1, because if you're near a fraud or a monster, there's a less likely chance of you getting chased by the fraud or dying from the monster. And another tip to help you get to the door at the end of maze 1 and be able to go to the next stage is to first find the mirror. That is really important. And then once you get to the mirror, you have to stick to the left wall and only take turns on the left wall and just stick to the left wall. And then a little bit after that, you will find the door and be able to go to the next stage. And now I approached the fraud. They were chasing someone, and then they immediately started chasing me. This is what it looks like when you're getting chased by the fraud. Your screen just zooms out, and you're running really fast. And all you have to do to get away from the fraud is just keep running and try not to hit a dead end. I think in this clip, I hit a dead end and died. But eventually, the fraud will stop chasing you. So, as you can see, I eventually hit a dead end, and there the fraud is. I died, and that's the new fraud. So, when you die, the fraud takes form of you. You don't become the fraud. The fraud is just a bot in the game, but they look like you. And to know if someone is a fraud, they move really fast, like faster than the average player. And they also move in a grid pattern, which means that they move in a straight line and they turn corners really sharply. And also, if they stand straight at the wall and wave, that means that they're the fraud and you should definitely run away. And then we finally found 𝗨𝘆elle. She actually didn't make it to the door with us, and she quit a little bit later on, but that's okay. We stuck in a group for a little while. And as you can see, we actually found my fraud self. That was pretty cool, though. And again, I got chased. I don't know why, because there's so much people in front of me. It can be really random when you're getting chased. But that's a repeating thing in this video. I actually got chased a lot. And again, I hit a dead end, and the fraud killed me. And didn't change its form because killed me, it was already me. And I respawned, and unfortunately, I lost my group. And I actually thought that this one girl was a fraud, but she moved in diagonal patterns. And then I found my group again, which was really exciting. And you probably saw that monster over there just now, which was a black figure with red eyes. I forgot what this monster was called, but it's the only monster that can follow you throughout all these stages, except for the boss battle, of course. But this monster doesn't necessarily kill you. It can only kill you when it screams, and then you get too close and then it can kill you. But normally it just follows you and it switches around to people. And then my group found the fraud, and of course it started to chase me. Like I said, a repeating thing in this video. And it was pretty annoying because, of course, I was trying to film a video and trying to escape the first maze. And then it stopped chasing me shortly after, which was kind of weird. And then right after that appeared the black monster. And then I found my group again, and then another person joined. I lost my group. And then I finally found the mirror. Like, I was so happy when I found the mirror. But this is what you're trying to look for when escaping. This is the most important thing to look for. And I finally found it. So that was really nice. And then once again, when you get to the mirror, you take a right and stick to the left wall and only make turns on the left wall. And then eventually you will make it to the door. And then, of course, the fraud found me and started to chase me just when I was about to get to the door, which really, really sucked. All that time that I spent looking for the mirror, wasted. So let's just go ahead and cut to when I actually get to the door, just to save some time. And before we actually do that, I'm going to introduce you to another monster that I encountered. This monster is all black. It looks like a knight, and it carries around a knife, and it can kill you with the knife. And it comes from maze 2. It can get out once you open the door. And to prevent this monster from killing you when it's chasing you, just take really sharp turns, because although it moves faster than you, it takes a bit of time to actually turn corners. And then eventually, by taking a bunch of sharp turns, you will be able to lose him. And then I finally found the door to stage 2 after quite a while. And all you have to do to get through is just press the button. Although when the button is red, there is a cooldown, so you just have to wait till the button is green, and then you can finally get through. So now we are on to stage 2, which is the grass maze. And the two monsters in this stage is the machete night guy and Alice, who has 2 forms. She is either a little glowing light kind of like firefly thing that just flies around, and when she is in this form, she cannot hurt you. All you have to do is stand still and look away, and that little firefly thing will just fly right past you. And her other form is her human form, which looks like a black figure in a wedding gown that's all ripped up, and in this form she can kill you, and it's very hard to get away from Alice when she's in this form when she's chasing you because she's really fast. So your best bet is just let her kill you because it's really hard to get away from her. So yeah, those are the 2 monsters that are in stage 2, and now here's how to get out from stage 2 and get to stage 3. So once again, you want to stick to the left wall and only take turns on the left wall, and eventually you will find a door that looks exactly like the last door we went through to get into this stage. And then I finally found the door to stage 3. Now this one looks a bit different because it has a code below the button. And this is where I actually got stuck because if you press the button, like, the door doesn't move. So what you have to do is actually type the code in the chat. And as you can see, there's a bot that's trying to scam you, so don't follow those scams if you see them. But yeah, all you have to do is type in the code and done. the door will open, and there you go. You're now on to stage 3. So this is the last stage / maze before the final boss battle, and the monster in this stage is James, who is a black figure, is wearing a tuxedo, and has a head that has glowing red eyes when you move. Now, James is probably the easiest monster to escape from because he only tries to attack you when you move. So as you can see here, he just moves along in his pattern throughout the maze. But when you move, he runs towards you with his eyes glowing red. And all you have to do to prevent him from killing you is to just stop moving. So for stage 3, you are not trying to look for a door. You are actually trying to look for a radio that beeps Morse code. So you will need another device and handy for this to have a Morse code kind of translator thing. And I actually followed a video on how to get to the radio, but I actually didn't film that part, so I'll just leave the video link in the description so that you can follow it. And as you can see, I finally got to the radio, and that was really exciting. So once you get to the radio, it will be beeping Morse code, and I'll actually put up a screenshot that you can pause and use of how like a Morse code translator. And it translates into only a few numbers, and it took me quite some time to actually translate it because it was really confusing, and I didn't know when it ended or when the beeping started. And sometimes even the beeping glitched, so you just have to wait until it doesn't glitch. So about after like 30 to 40 minutes of translating the Morse code, I finally got the code, and as you can see, once you type it in the chat, then the door opens and you go into this long kind of cathedral hallway. And at the end of the hallway, you will find this table with a sheet of numbers and some letters too. And as you can see, I took a screenshot from the website I used to decode this. So all you need to do is search up a hexadecimal decoder and type in the bottom portion of all those numbers. And once you put all those numbers and letters into the translator, there will be a sentence below that is along the lines of change all the 2s to 6s. Obviously, that's not what it's going to say because every code is different, but it will tell you to change certain numbers to another number, and then again, you have to type in that code in the chat. And then once you do that, the door will open and you will go on to the final stage, which is the boss battle. And then once the door opens, you enter into a dark room, and then there is text on the bottom that says the last hurdle. And then you will be able to have a rocket launcher in your inventory that you will try to shoot at the last monster, and it has health. And I also recommend that you try to beat the boss with friends, because if you try to beat it on your own, the boss has a laser that constantly shoots at you and you will automatically die, and it's nearly impossible to try to defeat him and get rid of all his health with only you. And when you die, the game doesn't start over, which is good. You just respawn in the hallway and have to enter the code again to enter, and you can try as many times as you want. And once you've killed the boss, you've officially beaten the game. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to beat the game because it was only me, and I didn't plan on having a whole group of friends because I wasn't really that prepared. But if you guys do want a part 2, let me know in the comments so that I can beat the boss and win this game. But I hope these tips were helpful, and of course, if you're playing this game, please use them. And also, if you like this video and want a part 2, thumbs up this video and subscribe down below. We are almost at 2.5K subscribers, which means we are halfway to 3K subscribers, which is really exciting. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!